guys, welcome to my best books of October, and I am actually doing this like early, like before the absolute last day of October, because I know I'm not going to finish any more books. Um, it is now the day before Halloween, so I'm wearing another spooky shirt, but I am not dressed up, so I have to get over that. I know my September best books post was pretty lame. I think I only talked about 2 books because I just didn't read very many that I really liked. October was the opposite. I had a ton of good books that I read. In fact, I realized at one point I had written like my 4th 5-star book review in a row, and I was like, oh my gosh, people are just going to think I absolutely love everything all the time. But, all right, I'm going to go through my favorite books of October. So, there's one Annette Marie book. So I did finish 2 Annette Marie series. Delivering Evil for Experts is the 4th book in the Guild Codex Demonized series by Annette Marie. I ended up liking this series even more than the Guild Codex Spellbound series, and I really liked how she wrapped up the series. So yeah, I would really recommend the series. It was very, very good. Again, the Guild Codex Spellbound and Guild Codex Demonized series are very tied together, and there are going to be some other sister series to that. They started the Guild Codex Warped series, as well as they're going to have one featuring the Crystal Druid, which I'm blanking on, but that one doesn't come out until like mid next year. So I really like this book. It's an urban fantasy. It's very fun, very fast paced, lots of action. The characters are very well done. I really liked the push and pull between the human demon summoner and the demon that she is bound to. They're different species. They come from very different worlds, so it's very interesting to watch them interact. So yeah, I really loved it. I loved pretty much everything about it. So very excited to finish this series. Really like this book and would definitely recommend this if you're an urban fantasy fan and like kind of fun, fast-paced urban fantasy. All right, the next one I read is another Kindle Unlimited one, which I have been finding some pretty good series on Kindle Unlimited, and that is Curiouser and Curiouser by Melanie Karsak. This is the first book in the Steampunk Fairy Tales. That's just the name of the series, and it's a very apt description. They are all steampunk fairy tales. So this is a retelling, kind of, or more of an extension maybe, of Alice in Wonderland. It has a lot of references to the original Lewis Carroll story, and it does a very good job of tying in a lot of stuff from the original classic literature rather than just like bringing in general stuff from like Disney movies and other mythology. It stays pretty true to its references. Very fun. I love the main character. She's kind of edgy and gritty and fun, but she's like trying to make a better life for herself. Lots of steampunk references. It takes place in a alternate London that is built very well, and the steampunk elements are integrated very well into society. Lots of action, just very fun. I just love this. I love how they brought in the Cheshire Cat and the Mad Hatter and the Red Queen, and all these people are brought in, and it's just really well done. So I'm going to continue reading this series. I actually already read Ice and Embers, which is the Ice Queen retelling, or Snow Queen. What's the name of that one? Retelling, and that one I liked. I didn't like it as much as this one, and I'm going to be reading. I think there's 2 more in it: Beauty and Beastly and something Braids and Dragon Blades or something like that. So, and those are of course a Beauty and Beast retelling, and then a Rapunzel retelling. So yeah. It's Golden Braids and Dragon Blades. I think that's the 4th one. I would definitely recommend that series of books. They've been very easy to read. They're shorter. They're only like 250 pages long, but if you have Kindle Unlimited, you're just borrowing them. Otherwise, they're pretty cheap to buy for your Kindle. Really fun blend of like steampunk and fairy tale retellings, and just very good writing quality and very well done. All right. So the next one I'm going to go through is pretty different from both of those. I got this through Kindle First Reads. I feel like I'm like an Amazon advertiser here. I probably should ask if I can get money for that or something. But I don't affiliate with Amazon. I just get a lot of stuff from there to read. So Kindle First Reads, and that was Find Layla by Meg Ellison. And I really, really like this a lot for a number of reasons. It's basically about a girl who's in middle school. She's either in middle school or just started high school. Their mother is basically absent. They live in this very gross, not kept up apartment, kind of on their own. So she's always struggling to like get food for her brother and keep her brother clean because she has a younger brother who's like 5. And their mother is like there off and on, but on drugs and absent a lot. And she really wants to be a scientist. So when it comes up that they're going to have a school science project, she does it on the stuff living in her apartment, like the maggots in the fridge and the mushrooms growing places and all of this. So that's kind of the premise of it. It's very short, again, which I've been kind of into short reads right now because my attention span is not great given everything that's going on. But it's very short, very good. I really liked, there's like, it involves talking about, neglect and mental illness, and social media comes into play, and just people who are interested in science. And so just a lot of really interesting elements packed into this little story. I was super impressed by how much impact this book had on me in such a short amount of time. So if you do have Kindle first, I think it was a Kindle First Reads for October, so maybe grab it quick, or definitely worth checking out. I think they have it as a normal book too. You don't have to get it for your Kindle. So find Layla. It was really good. I really liked it a lot. All right, so now back to more fantasy stuff. The next one I read that I really liked is the latest Alona Andrews book, and that is Emerald Blaze, which is the 5th book in the Hidden Legacy series and the 2nd book in the Catalina trilogy. So this, again, every time I read an Andrews book, I'm just blown away by how well everything is developed. Like, the world building is very intricate. The magic systems are really well built up. The characters are amazingly well done. Everything's just blended better together so good. You have like action, adventure, and mystery, and as I said, cool magic systems, a really neat world. And that continues with this book. I really, really liked it. I thought it was amazingly well done. And I actually I read Alona Andrews books and think, oh gosh, these are so good. Why aren't all the other books I read this good, right? Like every time I read it, I realize how much I like this husband-wife writing team. I know they haven't been pushing out as many books as they were a few years ago, and I do wish they were writing more books, but I understand they have things going on, and so I'm just grateful that this book was released this year, and I really, really enjoyed it. So if you, again, are a fan of urban fantasy that have very intricate world building, intricate magic systems, but still really engaging characters that are interesting, the Hidden Legacy series has been very good. So I would recommend that as well. All right, 2 more to go through. And one of them you're going to be familiar with because I've been reading this manga series, and every book has been on my favorites for the month. And that is Witch Hat 8 Lear Volume 6 by Kamomi Shirahama. Sorry about the name pronunciation. This is the 6th book in the Witch Hat 8 Lear series, obviously. But it's appropriate. It says ages 10 plus. So I think it's pretty appropriate for all ages in general. It might get a little scary for younger kids. But the illustration in this is amazingly intricate. The story's been very good. The characters are really interesting. I mean, it's just so good. It's just been so good. None of these have been bad. I've been enjoying them all a ton. My son, who is 13, reads them as well and really loves them. We are always both very excited for these to come out. So, yeah, this is a great, if you're looking for a fantasy manga to read that you can read with your kids, or just as an adult you want to read it, this is really good, and I really like it. And I'm sad because for a while I wasn't caught up, but now I'm caught up. I think Volume 7 releases in December, so they are releasing them fairly rapidly. I think this one came out in August or something, so they are doing them pretty quick, but really like that. And then the last book I have to talk about is from an author who has probably one of the most unique writing styles that is just different for the young adult genre, and that's Maggie Stiefvaters, which I know I'm probably saying that wrong because I actually watched a video on how to say her last name at one point but forgot. Is Call Down the Hawk, and this is the 1st book in the Dreamer trilogy. This focuses, so it does continue the Raven cycle, kind of, but it focuses on different characters. So it focuses on Ronan and Declan, D-A, Declan, and then it adds in a few new characters. So Jordan Hennessy, who is a thief, and Carmen Farouk Lane, who is a hunter of dreamers. So it is a longer book. It does switch viewpoint between those three characters, but it was just so good. Like, I loved reading from every character's viewpoint, which I know sometimes you read a book and you're like, oh, I don't want to read about this guy. Let's get on to someone else, you know. But I loved every character in here. I loved all their viewpoints. I loved just the beautiful description and how, like, it's a deeper book, right? It gets into the philosophy of like dreaming and your dreams and what's good and bad, and you go through these magical worlds, and it comes across sometimes as a very like dreamy, almost ambiguous read, but the Fairy's writing style is just so unique and so beautiful. It reads almost more like literature than like a young adult fantasy novel, if you know what I mean. So I thought this was amazing. It's one of the most unique things I have read this year. Um, and I always really look forward to any book that she puts out, and this did not disappoint. So I pretty much read like Find Layla, this, Emerald Blaze, and then the Demonized book like right after each other, and I was just like, the issue with doing that is in like the next books I read I was super disappointed in because they just were not nearly as awesome as the 4 or 5 previous books I had read. So again, October was a very good very good month for reading good books. And hopefully November will be more of the same, because if I could like love every book I read that much, I don't know, maybe I'd get bored with reading good books, but I truly doubt that. Anyways, so that is my best of October. I hope you guys enjoy these posts. If you have any books that you really love this month, please feel free to comment down below. And I will talk to you in a while. Bye.